All right, happy Tuesday. So this week is Lesbian Visibility Week, and as the first openly queer person to hold the position of press secretary for the President of the United States, I see every day how important visibility and representation are. Today, I'm honored to welcome the cast of The L Word and Generation Q, two Showtime series that chronicle the friendship, the love, the challenges, and the triumphs of strong, funny, and resilient queer women. Up here with me are the amazing, talented actresses who play those very roles. Jennifer Beals, Leisha Haley, and Catherine Menig, and the show's co-creator, writer, and executive producer, Eileen Shaken. After hearing from them briefly at the podium today, the cast will meet with LGBTQI plus staffers of the Biden-Harris administration to talk about our administration's work to advance full equality for our community. Last year, I had the personal privilege of attending the filming of an episode showcasing the marriage of two characters, Bet and Tina, a moment that meant so much to queer women across the country. Even though I grew up in one of the most diverse cities in the world, as some of you know, I grew up in New York City, as a young queer woman of color, I felt alone and sometimes invisible. For so many people in our community, the L Word's impact cannot be understated. Being able to see diverse narratives that reflect our lives is incredibly important. It is important that young people see characters on television and in the books who they can relate to, whose life stories and identities inspire them to reach their highest potential. It's important that LGBTQI plus people are represented in government, in shows, in institutions across the country. And this work is more important than ever as the LGBTQI plus community continues to face relentless attacks from some Republicans across the country. From books bans to don't say gay laws, MAGA extremists want to roll back the visibility and progress we fought so hard to achieve. But LGBTQI plus youth are resilient, and you've heard me say this before, you've heard the president say this before, they are fierce, they fight back, they aren't going anywhere. And there are people from the White House, from the president to the vice president to this administration and beyond who have their back. This week is a testament to how far we've come and the work that remains to advance equality to all people. And with that, I just want to give a special thanks again to the team behind me, the amazing actresses who have played these historic roles over the past several years. And a warm, huge thanks to Eileen, who created a show that only told our stories, but also, and this is, I believe, very, very true, save precious lives. And also, one last thing is change hearts and minds. So thank you so much, Eileen, for your creative brilliance and putting this to life. And so with that, I believe you're up next, Eileen.
Thank you, Karine. We're honored to have the opportunity to be here today, standing beside the first out lesbian press secretary in our history, who serves the most pro-LGBTQI president in our history. When the L Word debuted in 2004, we too accomplished a few firsts by bringing our stories into homes and communities across the country and around the world. We learned by the beautiful response to our show how profoundly important it is for people, particularly young people, to see themselves reflected in our entertainment culture and to know that they're embraced, valued, and not alone. We're delighted that the L Word lives on and speaks to a new generation, but we're painfully aware that our struggles are far from over. We face new threats against our community, from online harassment to legislative acts of violence to actual physical violence. Astonishing, backward, mean-spirited attacks by groups and individuals who, in trying to deny our humanity, only diminish their own. We've been fighting this fight for generations and will never stand down. They may try to erase our stories from classrooms and libraries, but we're here. We're here today at the White House. And we won't be erased. We will continue to be visible, powerful, engaged, contributive, creative, loving American citizens. We're galvanized by President Biden's leadership, from strengthening non-discrimination protections for our communities, to signing the Respect for Marriage Act into law, to supporting LGBTQI kids and their parents. And we're thankful to this president for giving us the first out lesbian press secretary who represents hope and possibility for so many people, young and a bit older. My colleagues and I want to wish President and Dr. Biden, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre and her family, and each and every one of you an enlightened Lesbian Visibility Week, month, year, decade, century, and so on and on and on. Thank you so much. And here's my colleague, Leisha Haley.
Thanks. Good afternoon. Thank you, Karine. First, let me say it's a privilege to be sharing this stage with you today. I'm standing here today because as a young gay girl in Nebraska who raced soapbox derby cars and wore rainbow suspenders, I was seen by my family. Their love and support gave me the courage and confidence to live my life openly. As an actor on the L Word, I have had the enormous honor and responsibility of being visible for over 20 years. But visibility is not just the act of being seen, it is the ability to see. So to the librarian in Texas advocating to keep books with LGBTQIA themes on the shelves, we see you. To the LGBTQIA people leading their communities as rabbis, pastors, and ministers, we see you. To the LGBTQIA community in Missouri about to lose their gender-affirming care, we see you. To the LGBTQIA community affected by the Dobbs decision in Idaho, Wisconsin, Alabama, Tennessee, we see you. And to the first openly LGBTQIA press secretary, we see you. Visibility starts in our homes and our communities, and even if it feels like you're under attack, know that we see you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. All right, thanks, everybody. This is like the quietest I've heard you guys.